Thank you for joining us. We will be discussing the online and part-time graduate programs in computer science, cybersecurity, and information systems engineering offered through the Whiting School of Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. My name is Cheryl Williams. With me is our program manager, Dr. Eleanor Klan. Eleanor is the interim chair of Computer Science, Cybersecurity, and Information Systems Engineering. She has served as an instructor for our program for over 32 years. Previously included in this presentation was Dr. Thomas Longstaff. Tom has accepted a position at Carnegie Mellon's Software Engineering Institute as their Chief Technology Officer. He is stepping down as of October the 31st, and we wish him all the best in his new position. Now I'm going to turn it over to Eleanor, who will tell you more about these programs. Eleanor?
Thank you for your interest in our programs. You need to realize that this is a school of engineering, and that means math, and you'll see that when you look at the prerequisites. But you will also see that we position ourselves as rigorous and technical degree programs that are different from other offerings. So keep that in mind as you're considering what program is the best fit for you. We hope it will turn out to be ours. Our program balances theory with practice. All of our faculty members are credentialed practitioners in the field. Not only can they cover the appropriate theory and pedagogy in the classroom, but they can balance it with real-life application situations that they have been in where this knowledge made a difference, and they can tell you how they handled it and the ramifications of those choices. Our programs are extremely flexible. For many students, the hardest problem they have as a student is to cut down the list of choices to just 10. We offer approximately 120 courses across our 3 programs. We have many students that can take completely different courses and yet still meet degree requirements without any overlap at all. So that's how flexible it can be. We offer flexibility also in terms of the pieces of paper that are available to you. You can work on a Master of Science degree. You can work on a postmaster certificate if you already have a related master's degree. And if you are an ISE, you also have the option of a graduate certificate in ISE. Post-bachelor's, 5 courses. If you're not quite sure you're ready for the master's degree. And in all 3 programs, you have the option of being a graduate special student. So lots and lots of choices that are available to you through our program. All 3 of them require 10 courses, and the typical student completes in about 3 years. Although we do have students that complete anywhere from 1.5 years up to the full 5 years that are available to you. We offer courses in multiple modalities. If you like face-to-face courses with an instructor live in the classroom, you can take an on-site course at the Applied Physics Lab in Laurel, Maryland. If you want more flexibility, or if you're outside the area, we have an extensive selection of online courses, and that selection is extensive in terms of quantity, but also in terms of the range of topics that are available to you. About 75% of our 120 courses are available online. There are some courses that are only available on site, and there are some courses that are only available online. But either way, you'll have lots and lots of courses from which you can choose. Next slide, please, Cheryl. All right, in the computer science program, you can choose to do the master's degree, to do the postmaster's certificate, or if you're not sure what you want to do, you can dabble as a graduate special student. We've already talked about the choice in courses, and You will be assigned an academic advisor with whom you can discuss course selection. They can help you work out a program plan. They can help you waive coursework that you may possibly have had already. Next slide, please. In cybersecurity, we see something similar. We have the same choice of offerings. You can have the master's degree, you can work on the postmaster's certificate, or you can dabble as a graduate special student. One thing that's worthwhile noting about our cybersecurity program is that it is a rigorous technical engineering-based degree program. Many cybersecurity degrees are offered out of business and management type programs because they tend to be concerned with the policy and management aspects of cybersecurity. We tend to leave that to people that understand that best, and we instead focus on the rigorous engineering side of the field. So you will find courses such as ethical hacking, digital forensics, Java security, and similar. If you are interested in the policy and management aspects of cybersecurity, we do offer some of that in our information systems engineering program. Next slide, please. Information systems engineering not only offers the master's degree, the postmaster's certificate, and the opportunity to dabble as a special student, but you can do a 5-course graduate certificate in ISE. So that's for the person who's not really quite sure they're ready to commit to a master's degree. And if they do decide, once they take a few courses, that, yeah, this is a good thing and they want to go to the degree, the courses in the certificate can convert. We look at this program as IT for the working engineer. Based on the title, you might be tempted to feel this is a follow-on degree to the typical undergraduate degree in information systems or information systems management. And to an extent it is, but this degree focuses on the engineering aspect, the more rigorous end of the field. Of all the degree programs that we offer, this is perhaps the most flexible. It allows you to combine solid engineering courses in computer science and or cybersecurity with networking courses, database courses, and also with topics from system engineering or technical management. So you can straddle a couple of different fields if that is your interest. Next slide, please. Okay, so this simply reiterates the different degrees and the programs that offer them. So I think we've covered that. Next slide, please. All 3 of the programs are structured exactly the same way. Each requires 3 foundation courses to start with. Each requires 3 courses in the same track, including a 700 level. Each program requires 3 courses or advanced courses at what we call the 700 level. Along the way, you need to get a total of 10 courses. Up to 2 of them may be outside electives, but which means that if you're a computer science student, you might choose to take 2 courses from applied math or an applied math course and an electrical engineering course, if that works for you. But many students choose to take all 10 of their courses from within the program and skip the outside electives. So it's whatever interests you. I'd also like to note that in all 3 of the programs, we have the opportunity to do independent research in the form of an independent study at the end of your program. Next slide, please. The required foundation courses for computer science are software engineering, architecture, and algorithms. This gives you a good broad base in the major components of computer science. Now, you might find that there's a lot of graduate programs that offer software engineering topics, but they don't necessarily require that. But we think that it's important to require software engineering. This is clearly intended as an applied degree, and software engineering is an important part of the application of computer science. Next slide, please. The algorithms course was listed under computer science, and you can see that it is shared with cybersecurity. Cybersecurity requires that and a course in information assurance. Both of those courses must be taken before you take the third course in cryptology. The cryptology course can be taken at any point after the first two, as long as you take it before taking other courses in the analysis area. Next slide, please. The foundation courses for information systems engineering share two courses with the other programs. It borrows software engineering from computer science and information assurance from cybersecurity, and adds its own very specific information systems engineering required foundation. This particular course covers topics on the system engineering side of things and networking and some other basic introductory topics to the field. Next slide, please. One of the requirements for all three programs is a track, a depth requirement in the form of taking 3 related courses. So we've divided up each program into related courses to make it easier for you to see what courses happen to fall into the same area. In computer science, you can see the courses that we offer. One point that we need to make is not only do we have tremendous depth in each of these areas, but we really have a broad-based spectrum of the entire computer science field. We offer bioinformatics, we offer cybersecurity courses, we offer data communications, data science. The data science courses are shared with the data science master's degree that is also offered by EP. We offer courses in databases, enterprise and web computing, HCI, software engineering, systems, and everybody's favorite, theory. You'll also notice there was a box I didn't mention, and that's called communications and networking. That's not really a track, that's an option. If you choose, you can apply to do a master's in computer science with an option in communications and networking. The option requires you to take 7 courses in networking and communications, with the possibility of up to 3 of them being from the electrical engineering side of the spectrum. If you choose to do this and successfully meet the requirement, then your degree is awarded on your transcript as a Master of Computer Science with an option in communications and networking. So that is something that is formally recognized. The bioinformatics courses, the ones in that track, are shared with the Krieger School for the joint master's degree in bioinformatics. But computer science students can choose to take them too if they are interested. Next slide, please. In cybersecurity, we only have 3 tracks. Analysis, which focuses on the statistical analysis side of cybersecurity and includes courses like IA analysis, intrusion detection, ethical hacking, reverse engineering. We have a track in networks, which offers things like web security, network security, PKI. We have a course in track in systems, which offers really basic things like the algorithms, the foundations of IA, operating systems security, Java security, embedded computers security, and other topics in that vein. Next slide, please. In ISE, you see that we offer cybersecurity, as well as some significant tracks from computer science, HCI, enterprise and web computing. Information management is where you'll find database courses, decision support systems. Network engineering contains networking courses that are very specific to ISE. These are the types of courses that you might want to take if you're interested in being a network engineer, network administrator, that type of work. Information management might be for you if you're interested in being a DBA, database administrator. Data engineering is a relatively new track in this curriculum. It is a field that is going to work closely with a data scientist without focusing on the heavy math aspect of data science. It's concerned more with the actual pipeline of data, obtaining the data, storing the data, cleaning the data, and working with a data scientist. We also talked about the fact that this is a very eclectic degree field, and we list system engineering as a track, and you can directly take courses in system engineering and technical management to balance out the technical courses in other areas that you are interested in taking. Next slide, please. Okay, if you decide that you want to be a graduate special student and dabble, and you take one or two courses and you're done and you go away and everybody's happy, or you could take a couple of courses and say, hey, I want to keep going. If you do not have a master's degree yet, those special student courses could apply to a graduate certificate. That requires 5 courses in ISE, one of which can be an outside elective. You could get partway through that graduate certificate in ISE and say, hey, I want to convert it to a master's degree in ISE, and we will allow you to do that. If you have a master's degree already in a closely related field, you can do the postmaster's certificate, which requires 6 courses with the possibility of 1 outside elective. It is important to note that 2 of the 6 courses are required to be at the advanced or 700 level. Now, if you choose to do the postmaster certificate in computer science, that means you have to have a master's degree in computer science, or maybe electrical engineering, or something like that that we consider closely related. Same thing for cybersecurity. If you choose to do a postmaster certificate in ISE, we would accept a master's degree in computer science, a master's degree in some other kind of engineering. We'd also accept a master's degree in information systems. In addition to that, if sometimes people get partway through a postmaster certificate and say, hey, I really want to keep going, you can convert those courses and do a second master's degree. So we do have students graduate with more than 1 master's. It's completely up to you. Again, that's indicative of the flexibility that we talked about previously. Next slide. Okay, so here's our application process. There's an online form that you need to fill out. You need to send your transcripts, and that means all your transcripts. If you went to a community college and you had some courses transferred to a four-year school, you may not think you need to send that community college because it's going to show up on the transcript from the four-year school. Send it anyways, please. Do yourself a favor, because what you can see on your student version of the four-year school transcript is often quite different from what shows up on the official version. We also would like for you to include a resume. This helps us to have some idea of whether or not you have relevant experience in the field and have some idea of what you're getting into. Keep in mind, this is a program in which most of the students are already active in the field. Our normal review process can be anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the time of the year. It varies considerably, and you will not be sent to be reviewed until we've gotten all of your documentation. The spring term begins in the end of January, and registration for that starts on October 25th. Cheryl? Okay, if you are going to apply to computer science or cybersecurity, what are we going to look for? We're going to want you to have had 3 semesters of math, including Calculus 1 and Calculus 2. And by the way, that's a 4 or 5 credit calculus that would be taken by math and engineering students. We also are looking for a suitable math beyond calculus, and we prefer discrete math, but we will take a couple of other things like linear algebra or differential equations. We also have a requirement for 3 semesters of computer science courses, Java, data structures, and computer organization. The documentation states that we will accept C++, and we will. But at the end of the day, please be aware that you are actually going to be expected to know Java. So if you do know Java, but maybe it's been a few years since you've used it, it would benefit yourself to do some review or consider taking a course if you happen to learn C++. It's up to you though. We are going to be looking for a 3.0 in the latter half of your undergraduate studies. We find that work in the latter half is more indicative and more important in telling us if you have the wherewithal to be the kind of student you need to be. Good news is we're not going to require you to take the GRE. Next slide, please. For information systems engineering, the requirements are similar, but not quite as stiff. We look for the Java, and we look for either calculus or discrete math, but you don't have to have both. We would like to have a second math course, which could be the other one of the two, or in the ideal world, it'll be something like statistics. Data structures is listed, but it has a caveat. Depending on your course selections within information systems engineering, you may or may not need to take data structures. If you choose courses from computer science and cybersecurity, you're probably going to need it. In that case, we expect you to take it before you take the courses that require it. But you don't necessarily have to take it before you start the graduate courses. If you choose to take courses strictly in network engineering or system engineering, you can avoid it altogether. Or if you take courses that start with the 635 number. So I mentioned earlier that we have policy and management cybersecurity courses in ISE, and there is a cybersecurity track in ISE in addition to some cross-listed cybersecurity courses, we also have a significant suite of ISE-specific cyber courses, and that's where you'll find the policy and management type courses that we do offer.